G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. I'm in my 900s now, so hopefully we can be improving in terms of technique. So what I want to do today is I want to go through a book summary, and yet again it's another book summary on happiness. It just amazes me at how many books are written on happiness. So obviously it's a topic that is a burning desire for many people, and it's something that's possibly missing from a lot of people's lives. So what we'll do is we'll go through this episode, we'll go through this book summary entitled Happier by Tal Ben-Shahar, and see what it can teach us and what we can gain from it, and go for a nice walk, because it is a cracker of a day here in Sydney. It's an autumn day, it's Saturday morning, I'm at work, it's morning tea time, but every single day I commit to generating and developing and delivering a vlog before work. So one before work, one at morning tea, and one at lunchtime. So it's all about sticking to a game plan. So I decided a year ago that I was going to commence vlogging, and since then it's evolved. I was going to do one a day, whereas now I'm up to 5 a day, and I'm very, very close, as I said, to delivering my 1000th vlog in English. And who knows if I have good health and good attitude and a good time doing it, I'll continue along the path of generating as much wisdom, knowledge from other people's experiences, other people's expectations as I can. Because at the end of the day, we've got this platform called Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We've got the technology in terms of iPhones or Samsung, if you've got a Samsung. So at our hand, within our hand, within our reach, we can run our own episodes. So we can become vloggers of note. And the internet is flooded with material, book summaries, books that you can easily get your hands onto and summarize and deliver in your own way. So let's continue here and find out a little bit more about this book. So the author here kicks off with a quote, and the quote from the author is as follows: "The best moments usually occur when a person's body or mind is stretched to its limits in a voluntary effort to accomplish something difficult and worthwhile." So that's another take on what generates happiness for some people, and that's about adding value. So bending and stretching either your body or your mind, or your body and your mind, and doing something which is difficult, achieving something which is initially thought to be difficult, and something which is worthwhile to you and those around you. Because the reality of life, the reality of the world as we know it today, doesn't take long to figure it out, is that while we have everything, or capable of having everything, we are still unhappy. As we are growing, we need to accomplish the next big achievement in order to generate more happiness, and we're surrounded and we are plagued by consumerism. So wherever you look, there is this competition to do more, achieve more, be bigger, be better, No longer can you just sit back and just do nothing and achieve bliss. We are programmed, we are all programmed to a certain extent to want to participate and compete in life and do as much as we can in order to feel as if we're achieving and that we are reaching that level of happiness that has been sold to us. The author then focuses on a couple of key points. So the first key point in this book, we've got the narrabeen coming in and churning up the water, is that all goals in life point to the ultimate aim of happiness, which leads to success. So what the author is saying is that a lot of the things that we do, whenever we get up in the morning, all of the decisions that we make, all of the goals that we have, all our aspirations that we have in our lives are all based on generating happiness. Our ultimate goal is to be happy, and that's basically what we want. But getting there seems to be difficult and tricky for all of us. But when it's all said and done, and I've learned this through my life as well, that generally it's the happy people that have the best relationships, the best health, and the best finances. So if there was one lesson to come from this book in terms of helping you or helping us or helping whoever wants to be guided by these principles, that happiness is a state of mind, and once you achieve that state of mind and that attitude, other things in your life begin to improve as well. As we said, you have better relationships, you're able to relate better to people, you're able to get on better with people because you're looking for the bright things, you're looking for the positive things. You in yourself are fulfilled and happy. And the other benefits, of course, are the health benefits and the financial benefits. So what else do we learn? So the second formal point to come out of this book here is that in order to have more joy in our lives, we need to balance the views that we have of the present with the future, and not to get stuck in any particular place or quadrant. So the past is great. It's great to have a fantastic past and a great history. But if we get caught up there, we miss out on the present and the future. So the author here is saying that if you want to be happy, one of the tricks that they put forward here is to focus on the now, focus on the present, and not to get stuck in the past or the future. So a famous author, Lao Tzu, said, and I didn't know that this is one of his quotes, because I do love his material there on the management frontier that I've read over the years. And he said, and I quote, "Depression is living in the past, and anxiety is living in the future, and peace comes to those who live in the present." That is one quote that really, really resonates with me, and that's a killer. That's a killer quote, and that's probably one of the key themes and the key messages to come out of this book. That if you want to be happy, you need to live in the present. If you want to be depressed, live in your past, and if you want to be anxious, live in the future. So the author then presents 4 outlooks on states of mind and lifestyles. And the first one is the hedonist, hedonistis, it's a Greek word. And they're the ones who just look at gaining pleasure. They live in the here and now, and they have absolutely no concern for the future. They'll do whatever they have to do to enjoy this particular moment. And I guess we Greeks, to a certain extent, express hedonism in many ways, especially when we party and we break plates and we just carry on as if there is no tomorrow. So that's one way of looking at or viewing the world, through the eyes of a hedonist. The next one is the nihilists, and they're the ones who have no interest in life, either past, present or future. They're the ones who basically reject everything, and basically it's an interesting way of looking at life. I don't know any nihilists, but just to think that there is no interest in the past, present or future is quite sad and quite sickening to a certain extent. They're the ones who have no hope and don't get any joys regardless of where they look and what they focus on. The third outlook for life comes in the form of the rat racers, the ones who are stuck in planning and living for the future. You know, the ones that I talk about, the ones who just work non-stop, who just don't stop for anything, don't have time for family or friends, because they're always planning, they're always preparing for tomorrow, and of course they're missing out on today and yesterday. So the rat races. And the fourth outlook, which I think, according to this author here, is the preferred outlook to have, which is a blend of the three above. And it's those who live in the present, but who take action to benefit their future as well. So they don't live in the past, they live in the present, as we said, but they're working and taking action in the present to take care and prepare for their futures. And I guess that's from a religious perspective. That is, I can relate to that from a Greek Orthodox perspective, that we live in the present, but everything we do is part and parcel in preparation for our future lives. So the author then suggests here that the last outlook is the best for happiness, but most of us display all four outlooks at different times, because society places us in those top three and wants us to constantly postpone our happiness, which ends up making us miserable. So it's an interesting way of looking at things, and I'm kind of enjoying going through this book summary, because it reminds us of all the things that we need to be reminded of, and to think about those four outlooks. So the last formal point to come out of this book is that the author talks about the fact that you'll be happier if you nurture meaningful relationships. The bottom line is that we need to be surrounded by circles of people. We need to be in social orbit and connecting with people on a regular and constant basis, because at the end of the day, you know it just like I know it, there are some people that simply energize us. There are some people who just lift us without saying a thing, without doing a thing. Just by being in the same room with them, they're able to just lift not only you, but others around you. So there have been numerous studies that have been performed all over the world, and they end up suggesting or finding out that people are happier when they've got deep connections with family, friends, and significant others around them. Because shared life experiences are important. We only create our identity in relationship to others around us. If there was nobody else around us, then we wouldn't have an identity and we'd probably go crazy. So that's why it's important. It's important to nurture your relationships and to keep contact. And thankfully, these days we have the ability through technology to stay connected and to collaborate with lots of people all over the world. Even though those connections are a lot more shallow than what they would be if they were face to face. But still, it's important to understand and to appreciate that we have the tools available to us, and it's basically how you use that tool that will determine how well and how connected you are. I know that there are a lot of ladies who are very, very good at networking using Facebook, Instagram, and all of that technology, whereas the blokes, like everything when it comes to socialising, are pretty hopeless. But the author harps on the importance that we all need to have intimate, long-term relationships in order to stay healthy, to be healthy, and to live a happy life. So an important theme from this book. So I think I'll leave it there for now. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode, this Saturday morning episode, where we've gone on a volta, a walk and talk. I'm over here, as you can see, at the Opera House. The sun's out, the wind is blowing. I think it's easterly, but there is a tendency of a bit of southerly, southeasterly in there. And it's sunny, it's warm, the air temperature is delightful. And as you can see, there's not too many people down here harbourside, but it is early morning Saturday, so I'd imagine there'll be a few more people coming here throughout the day. So thank you once again for joining me on this episode where we went through the book summary entitled Happier by Tal Ben-Shahar. And I look forward to coming to you again from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, where we can lift each other through the morning, through the day, where we can be the wind beneath our wings, the wave beneath our board, the zephyr which billows our sails and flutters our flags, and the propellers, the turbines, which move us, our craft, our families in the direction where we want to head. Yassas, take care, daleme, and we'll stay in touch. Take care, bye for now. From Jim on Jim's 5am Club.